I'm a little bit more organized today. Not lots, but definitely a little. Done. One day I'm gonna remember to take photos for the cover photo. Not today though, obviously. That's fine. All right. Laptop, bin. So I have done a crazy amount of embroidery on this bag. Well, not crazy. I think it's fully justified, but it's definitely more than just like one main thing. Because why not? And the whole reason I designed this little part of the Rascal is to have embroidery, and look how cute it is. Good morning! Doing all the cute things today. And I pre-cut the fringing because I'm clever. We're going with rainbow hardware because I had a zipper pull that worked perfectly. Hello, hello. I know I've done a lot of lives lately, but it's just pretty much because I'm repeating patterns. I have decided to do a market on Sunday since it looks like the rain has gone for the most part, which will be nice. And for everyone in Australia, happy Valentine's Day. I don't know if it's the same day in America as Australia, but today is Valentine's Day, which is why I'm wearing something cute. Didn't put makeup on, but I put a cute dress on, so it totally counts. All right, one full rotation should pull it up. It's the 4th, yeah, see, I'm just ahead of time because it's the 14th here right now. Okay, so before we go sewing, let's just discuss how much embroidery I put in this thing. So this is also a scrap buster. I would like to prove my point that I am still on my scrap busting mission. So this piece of fabric here, this I believe was sent to me. I'm not sure if it was a full fat quarter or not, but I had a pretty piece of this. So if you look closely, it's got skulls and cats and it feels a bit witchy. And so then, because it's got the orange, I also found another piece of scrap in my stash that was this. So this is the remaining lining. So both of these pieces are technically scrap. And then, since we were going for a witchy theme, I embroidered this witch. Now this is from Urban Threads. It took ages, like totally ages, but it's worth it because it looks amazing. So this will be the accent. Then on the back slip pocket, I did the large version of this. So normally I just shrink things myself, but because there was such a variance in size, I knew if I shrunk it, it wouldn't come out very nice. So I actually purchased both of these sizes. So also Urban Threads, and it's just got a witchy feel. And I did the colors opposite. So this, you're supposed to use 3 colors, but I just used 2. And then I did the opposite on this one because it's on the purple versus the black. And all those colors are in here if you look. Most of it's the light color, but there is a little bit down the bottom here. So that's the embroidery on the bag. Excessive, maybe, but I don't care. I think it's wonderful. And then the last thing I want to show you is this is the fringing for the front. And what I've actually done is taken a print HTV that had butterflies. I'm not sure if you can really see them. And then stuck it to the back. Now, when I ironed this on, it has made it quite faded and splotchy. I don't know if you can see that. It's a bit, it's not like super vivid. But on the back of fringing that's probably barely even going to be seen, it works out fine. So this was some vinyl I got or HTV, sorry, I got ages ago from Temu. And you can see if I hold it together, it's just not quite as vivid as one would hope. But it'll be fine. I'm going to make it work. You watch me go. So with that being said, let's go. I do love this witch. It's got, hold on. It's got a lot of tail sticking out. I also had to turn it upside down and iron it in the heat press because it was a bit lumpy. So for those that have blood, this is like 37,000 stitches, I believe. So because of that, it was quite a bit lumpy, mainly just here. It was very lumpy here. So you put it in the heat press upside down and heat it up and squish it flat. And it's still got one lump here, right there. There's just one lump. I don't know if you can see that right there. But the rest of it, very, very flat. So not all so bad. And that's mainly because I don't ever hoop my vinyl because it'll get marks, apparently called hoop burn. And I'm just not interested in that. So I'm just gonna, before I attach it to the bag, I'm gonna cut off all of the tails that I no longer want to see. And then you can also use a lighter and just kind of run it along it and it'll get any sticky uppy bits. In my very professional wording. Won't set it on fire, which is wonderful. Well, it might if you hold it there long enough, but like a quick pass over should be fine. So I do love this. This is going to be a very extra bag, but one of you requested to see this without all of the fringing. And I have made one before, but obviously not as a video, so we're gonna do it again. I also plan on designing, you guys will wanna see the trollop without the flap. So I'm going to come up with a few extra bits to put on it, and we're going to do an add-on pack for the trollop. So not just the zipper parts, but I'll come up with some other things as well, because that sounds fun. So that will be my next pattern, most likely, is a trollop add-on, which I will deal with not this week. Because again, I'd like to do a market on Sunday. I also broke one of the stand that holds my mannequin. So I have to fix that amongst a bunch of other things that I have to do. Less than excited. This is why you should only pull off one piece of double-sided tape at a time. It's giving me grief. Fringing with a printed canvas would also look very cool, actually. It's a very good point. All right. So now that it's stuck, see, it kind of gives a pretty picture. I just think it looks cool. And again, it's the underneath side, so probably no one will see it. You can also just spray paint it. I have done that several times. I regret nothing. It was wonderful. Morning! You can also turn this into a slip pocket. Just if you didn't know that either. What I would personally do is cut a piece slightly bigger, tuck under all the edges, and then just tack it to the back. I had it over for a reason. Right, so we're going to stick it down. Double-sided tape really is your friend with this. I know some people don't like to use a lot of double-sided tape, and you don't have to use this much. You could just kind of do little bits to tag it in place, but this way is easier. Won't shift when I stitch it. Peel off the backing. How am I? I'm doing okay. I still have my cough. It's still not gone. It's driving me nuts. But that's right. So I've only put foam on the gusset piece. Seems to be a very prominent thing I've been doing lately. Don't regret it though. Stick it down. See, and then you can just move around freely. Oops. That was my fault. Get up there. Ha-ha! And then we're just going to top stitch gently. We're going to do all the sides. This was a good choice of thread. I was a bit iffy about picking this purple. See, with that much double-sided tape, I really can just hoon around the edge. And we all know how I feel about hooning. For those that weren't here for my last video, hooning is when you drive like a maniac. I don't know what you call it over there, but in Australia we call it hooning. Ta-da! How pretty is that? Love it. Oh, I love the Rascal. I should really make more of them, you know, in all my free time. After today's video, I need to set up my marquee thing. Oh, shush. Someone's trying to call me. You'll be right. I have to set up my marquee and work out how I'm going to set up this time around. So for this piece, I am backing it with the opposite color because that's always fun. Again, double-sided tape. Is it done raining? According to the weather report thing that I Googled earlier, it is going to be cloudy on Sunday, but no rain where the market is. Because technically it's the other side of town, and there is sometimes a dramatic difference between one side of town and the other. So I did double check, and theoretically the rain is gone. I do plan on moving the sandbags this weekend if we don't get a bunch more rain, but I'm not moving back out to the sewing room yet because we ripped up the carpet so it wouldn't be any more gross, but we need to clear the floor and we've got to seal some of the edges. Like there's stuff to be done. I'm also probably going to do a bit of a rearrange. I'll see if I can find someone that's really good with spatial awareness to help me reset up. So even when I do go back, it will most likely look different. Oh, sorry, it was me ringing. Yeah, no, it was my phone. It was my watch. Because apparently, since the update, it doesn't go on silent when my phone goes on silent. I don't know. Whatever. So I have a fun zipper pull that we're using for this, which is also what inspired the second lot of embroidery. So it's a moon that's got all that spirally stuff with the cat. So realistically, they are a matching pair. See? How cool. Fluke that I found that, but whatever, I'll take it. Now, with these kind of shapes, I always just cut the back piece bigger. Don't try and cut them both identically the same. Never works out. So honestly, don't even try. And I know that sounds defeatist, but it's actually way quicker trying to do it like this, because if you do cut them identical, even if you use a cutting machine, you're then going to have to use a lot of double-sided tape to make sure that nothing shifts while you're stitching. Whereas right now, I don't have to worry about the bottom piece at all. I just do it the way I want. But this is actually what I designed this for. That and conchos, which are like decorative, what are they called? Oh my gosh. Like studs. Like decorative studs, basically. I don't really love any of these. Oh, those ones might be right. And then we just cut around it and cut those threads off. I'm holding them backwards. There we go. And then you just follow the main one. So even if you were cutting these on a cutting machine, which no, I do not currently have the SVG file, but I could probably make it for you if you want. I would still only cut one with the cutting machine, and then the second one just cut out excess like this. Works amazingly well. So this bag took a really long time to embroider because the thread constantly broke. And I don't know if it's my machine or the thread, but I am on a mission to try and eliminate, well, not eliminate, but use up as much thread as humanly possible, which is why all the bags lately have had embroidery. A, I've got time and space to do it. When the embroidery machine was in the shed, I have to hang out in the shed and not work because I'm waiting for embroidery. Whereas here, I was doing it while I was cooking and then after dinner, and like I can just wander back and forth. It's much better. So the embroidery machine, don't tell my husband, but it might end up living in here just because it's easier. How cute is that? I don't know if you can see that with the purple stitching. I love that. I think that looks fabulous. Love it. So I am using 1-inch swivel clips because I don't have any 3/4 inch because whatever. So one of these will have a swivel clip like this. And I'm using rainbow press studs. Not press studs. What's the word? Rivets. Rainbow rivets. Because they're pretty. And because it makes me happy. You should always do what makes you happy. I did start cutting out the Lucy backpack that I told you all I was going to do, but I stalled because the vinyl I wanted to use I don't have enough of it, and so now I'm trying to come up with another really cool idea because I want my stuff to be pretty. Oh, this cough. We also need 1 rectangle ring. Oh, that's gonna look so good. So good. Hello, Amanda, and thank you for loving my patterns. I really need to make some new ones for you guys. Although, by me not making any new patterns, you won't feel obligated to purchase them, in which case you are saving money. So, I mean, there's some positives to it. Yes. I don't know if that's really translating, but it looks amazing with the rainbow because the rainbow has a lot of purple in its coloring. I'm a fan. And I've got this because this has got all the screws for the zipper end because we're using a zipper end because they're pretty. I'm clearly all about the pretty today. So let's do this piece. So this is going to be my back slip pocket. Hello, Spain. All right, so we're going to put these right sides together. Oh, I've got double-sided tape on the back still. Oh no, just normal sticky tape. I was going to say I don't remember using double-sided tape. You burned your pointer finger on your right hand. Oh no. Can you just sew like this? I'm sure I could, but please don't make me. I'm going to clip this together because this vinyl is potentially a little bit stretchy and I don't want it to stretch. You can also see my crosshatch in pen on the back of this, so I could line up the embroidery. It won't show through, therefore I don't care. But if you wanted to, you could use something erasable. I just don't want to. Why won't hubby let me stay in the house? When we were in a different house and I was selling the hardware, I worked too much. So I was always at work, like packaging hardware and stuff. And he thought I worked too much. So then he was like, when we buy a house, we'll put it out so you can have like a turn off time, which I appreciate. However, I get so much more stuff done with it in the house. So, and it is trashed in here, like fully trashed. I would love to stay in here. But I would have to maybe downsize some more stuff if I was to stay inside. Or maybe just, I wouldn't even need everything to stay in, but if I could keep this machine, the heat press, and the embroidery machine inside, and then take all the stuff and prep bags outside, that would also work. Because I don't do a lot of prep videos. No real reason why I don't. I just figured you guys aren't really interested in me just cutting things. I'm on early today. No, I usually start only 10 minutes ago. I try to always start at about 8:30 a.m. my time because I've dropped my child off. But on Fridays, he starts a bit earlier, so I can drop him off a bit earlier. I'm clipping this so it won't go crooked. But how pretty is the back going to be? Have I done a tutorial for brands and what to look for in an SVG cutting machine? I haven't, but that's mainly because I haven't had a lot of experience with a lot of other machines. If you asked me a laser question 2 years ago, I'd have no idea. But now that I've played with so many different types, I have quite a lot of knowledge about laser machines now. Cutting machines, I have only used a scan and cut, but an old model, and my Cricut. I can say that my Cricut cuts fabrics and vinyls way better than my scan and cut. But again, I had the old scan and cut, and I don't know how glorious the new one is. I've never used a silhouette, although I have a friend that has one and she loves it. But I imagine they're all very similar. I don't love Cricut's software. They want you to pay monthly to use a whole bunch of stuff, and I don't like monthly subscriptions because I don't get paid regularly. I get paid when and if somebody buys a pattern or a bag or something. So I can't rely on, I don't have steady income. Therefore, I don't like subscription stuff. The only thing I am currently monthly subscribed to is Kindle because I read an outrageously large amount of books. I can tell you the difference between the Cricut and the Cricut Joy. Cricut Joy would be great if you only ever want to cut smaller things, whereas a large Cricut, you can cut all the big stuff like bags. Oh, see? How pretty is this? Sorry, I keep marveling at myself. It's fine. I also have to figure out where I'm going to put my logo. I'm thinking maybe here. Or I could put it on the side gusset. There's options. Ugh. Can't breathe. Oh, that's not what I was looking for at all. That's what I want. The other part of the strap. I can tell you that I don't use my Cricut as much as I would like. It's inside, but it's the thing it's set up on. You can see it. It's right there, but there's stuff all around it, so it's not really getting used the way it should. I would like to use it more. I plan on using it more, and then life gets in my way. For example, after the video today, I have to do at least 2 loads of washing, more dishes. I should tidy up in here because I have slightly trashed it. I also have to do like a mock setup for the market because I'm changing how I do a lot of stuff. So that's going to take time. And then it'll be time to pick up my child and my day's over. Tomorrow I have a baby shower to go to, and then I will probably come home and either finish up any of the market stuff or try and sew another sneaky bag because I do not have enough vixens in my stash right now. So I might even, while I'm doing all this other stuff, put an embroidery and do an embroidered vixen. But again, I also have to match it to my scraps because I have very, very much been sticking to that I must use scrap fabric. I don't know if anybody saw my video I put up yesterday, but I also have been starting on the scrap wood that I have to eliminate scraps. And I did. I got rid of one more piece. That was exciting. Do you have specific questions about your cutting machine? Like, what is it that you want to do? I'm not big on card making. I constantly think I would like to do it and then realize I don't have time. It's a very sad realization, but it is a realization nonetheless. I would love to like have a whole bunch of happy birthday cards in my stash that I have made. But I really don't have time. And I don't really send cards unless I'm sending a gift as well. And I understand that that's probably poor manners or whatever. And yet, here we are. So this piece is only 27 inches today. I'm doing a slightly shorter strap on this one, just because that's what vinyl I had access to. And it'll be fine, and it'll all work out. I'm really just not worried. And if you tap it, it's just better. If anybody else gets as much joy of speed sewing as I do. It's so good. Yoink. So much fun. Anyway, moving on. Time differences can be hard. I know a lot of you guys don't get to watch the lives because of the times I do it. But to be honest, I can't do it of an evening or an afternoon. My child gets very chatty around those times. You know what we need? I know what we need. Boom! This thing. Just looking to cut pattern pieces. Save the hands, time, and cost of printing patterns. In which case you need to get one, like, depending on what patterns you personally like. I know there's a bunch of patterns that I love that probably don't fit into a Cricut. You can get larger machines. But I mean, you could get most of them. You could get most of them on a Cricut if you get the long mats, the 24-inch mats. Oh, I love these. I love that they sparkle. I have a clear set somewhere, but they live amongst all my other clear stuff and I can never see them. The sparkling makes them stick out. And I spoke to Belinda the other day, and apparently she's now got quite a lot of colours and sparkles. If anyone's interested. I get really excited about this strap. I don't know why. I understand it's ridiculous. And also, this morning, after I had cut it all, I am going to work out how to do the other. So I'm going to change it and do an add-on to make this be 1.5 inch strap on this end. My brain got very excited when I even thought about it. But I didn't have time today if I wanted to get to the live. So we will do it on the next one. Oh, maybe I can do this with the 1.5 inch strapping with the stuff for my trollop add-on. Because we'll take away the flap and then I'll want something exciting. So maybe I'll do this, but with an add-on to make it a 1.5 inch strap. How do we feel about that? I would say the Cricut will do what you're after as far as cutting pattern pieces. I do know that you have to first interface lining pieces before you cut them. But you can get a specific cutting wheel for the Cricut. So it's not just the normal blade that cuts it. It's an actually tiny little rotary wheel. So I would suggest that Cricut will most likely do what you're after. I can't promise it will because I don't know. I don't have the cutting wheel as an option in my arsenal of attachments. But I'm pretty sure if you put the Vixen on sideways, you should be able to fit a Vixen. You just wouldn't fit, things like the Empress. Empress is too big for Cricut. You'd have to go and get like an industrially larger one. Strap. Love it. Yeah, no, I think I'm decided. We're going to do this. Maybe I'll come up with a different shape. But we're going to do this with a 1.5-inch attachment. In my brain, it's amazing. See? You guys asking for this video has inspired me for my next pattern. Love it. The scrap is not as long as it normally is. I think it's about, I don't know, a few inches shorter. But I mean, it's still long enough to go on your shoulder. It'll be fine. The problem with your... Thank you for all your thoughts. That's all right. They spew out of my brain. All right, so this is a lining. So I did the 2 main pattern pieces in this, and then I ran out of it, and then went, crap, we need a gusset. So the gusset is going to be this on the inside, which I think is just fun. Why? Who says that the lining has to be all one color? I hope it's pretty. In my brain, it's pretty, but you know, reality can sometimes be a bit different. Choppity chop. All right, centerpieces. This side's not going to have any pockets. You can add pockets, obviously. Oh, actually, oh no, I can't do that yet. Oh, see, I fall for that every time. We're not doing that bit yet because I have to do the zipper part first. The zipper part also got that too. Yay! So many bits of vinyl in here. We want the rectangle ones, not the angly ones. And zipper tape. This is what I forgot to grab. I would like rainbow zipper tape if possible, but I don't think it's... Oh, actually, how do we feel about that? Is that too much? She says, knowing it's probably going to happen anyway. Ooh, and that one can be the inside if it's 8 inches, which is probably not. Just my luck. Let's have a look. Oh, it's only 7. Bugger. This is fun though. So it's got rainbow teeth and it's got like a galaxy look. But again, it might be, it's probably the wrong shade of purple. Aw. That was really cool in my hair, but I don't think that's going to match. Anybody else have thoughts? I mean, it is only a zipper. If it had more of this color and less of the blue, I'd be very happy. Other options are not a lot, to be honest. Nothing else in rainbow. We'd have to go to something standard and boring. Ugh. Whoops, I'm dropping things. I have that, but it's rose gold teeth, so that doesn't really work either. So many random bits of stuff. I've got black with black. I don't have a lot of black zipper tape. Apparently I've used it all. Good job, me. That's more of a brown than a purple. And they are the options today. Wish I had this color, but not rose gold teeth, because that'd be pretty. But no deal. Send that to Belinda next time I send her a package. I could do black with black, because then the kitty would really, really stand out. I just don't think I'm sold on that one. It's fine. Now, this is the very professional way that I do this. I go like that and then add a bit. Right, so we measure it and then I add a bit for a tail. You can have a long tail or a short tail. I do, what's that, about 2 inches. Well, it's 1.5 inches. I might make it 2 inches. Right, always use the back edge of your scissors so you don't wreck them. Then I'm going to cut an 8-inch piece for the inside zipper pocket. Jump. And then I can put it away. So for those that want to know how I wrap up my zipper tape, I grab it between my thumb and my finger, and then I'm going to go around the thumb and then come in between these 2 fingers and go around it and then back in there, and we crisscross and zigzag it over. Very effective way. Blue more fun. Black, black. Yeah, we'll just do this one. It is more fun to do the other one. I'm 100% with you on that. But I do want it to sell. And I find that if I do things slightly more within the box, it is more likely to sell. I can come up with some crazy wild ideas. But the bag is then very unique and a lot harder to move. So put that zipper on. I've just got a normal one for inside because I only have one of the pretty cats with the swirls. I can't believe I found a moon with swirls that basically matches it though. Very happy about that. And then I'm going to try that thing on once more. This is the last time I try this because I'm not very good at it. You're meant to fold the zipper tape on itself like this, which it does not like to do. And then you're meant to stitch towards the zipper. Which again, it also does not like to do. Too big. What? Didn't like that either, see? We're just not friends, me and this thing. I tried several times. We're not friends. Just made a big old knot. Whatever. You won't see it. I'm just going to cut it mostly, hack at all the threads, and then melt them with a lighter because that's why we have lighters. See? Crisis averted. Mostly. Probably should singe this end too because it's been a bit naughty. I unfortunately don't remember where I got this at all. I feel like maybe Zen, Sunkissed Melbourne, or A Passion for Vinyl. It was definitely one of those 3 places if you're looking for some. And then if we flick that over, they're even. And I mean, they kind of are. Mostly. Whatever, it's fine. Okay, so these I did not line up when I cut them, so I didn't have to worry about that either. Can anybody else hear the dogs barking? They are slowly driving me insane. I am very tempted to go over there and tell them off. I've lived here 2 years. The dogs have not settled. Every time I go out my door, they bark at me. And I mean, it's my door. Not happy at all about that. Having little hooks that the tape lives on is best decision ever. So easy. Okay. Put that away, put that in there. I mean, we're nearly through this bag. It would go a lot quicker if I would stopping to chat, but we all know that's not going to happen. Also, whoever did my nails, I'm definitely going back to this nail person. Best nails I've had in Townsville since I moved here. None of them have listed or fallen off so far. It's like a record. I'm so impressed. I'm so happy. We're going back when they need a refill, which is not yet because they're not falling off. For those that don't know the plight that is my nails, I have very oily nail beds, and the nails always lift in about a week and a half after I get them. Every time. It's horrible. But I love nails because they're so handy, and they make my fingers look less manly. Hello, Scotland! 11 p.m. at night. Well, thank you for joining me at 11 p.m. at night. I appreciate that. Alright, let's split this. I know this freaks a lot of people out. You'll be fine. You should learn to do it. It's glorious. I also have a new earworm for anybody that plays along at home with my crazy songs I get stuck in my head. It's a K-pop song. For those that don't know what K-pop is, it's Korean pop music. The song is called Maniac. Me and my child danced to it in the car. It's wonderful. I'm pretty sure Scotland is the only place in the world that doesn't have any deadly animals. And officially I'm jealous. Australia has so many deadly animals. I mean, not that I see them all the time, but still, they exist. It's constantly in the back of my mind, you know, be careful of spiders, especially down south. Redbacks are a thing. They will hurt you. You get in their space, they will bite you. So many snakes, although I haven't seen many snakes lately at my house. Since the neighbours lost their chickens, they're pretty sure they got eaten, unfortunately. Which is very sad for the chickens. But since the chickens have gone, I actually have only seen, I think, one snake. So that just proves my point that I'm never getting chickens, even though I wanted chickens. It's no longer an option for my brain. We're gonna go over, needle down, pivot. I don't have to worry about needle down anymore. This machine does it for me. The small wins in life. There's a new pattern called the Bartleby that's come out, and it has a 3/8 inch seam allowance next to the zip. I haven't made it yet because I'm gonna have to like change all the feet for feet I don't currently possess. That's why we haven't done it. It is a very cute bag though. It's got lots and lots of zippers. But no, it will need to be closer to the zipper tape. And I mean, I could hack it so that we don't do that, I suppose. We all know I love to hack things. And that's mainly just because I don't like to be told what to do by pattern instructions. Do it the way I want to do it. I don't like to be told what to do by my own pattern instructions. Black zipper, I am! Oh, shit, I was using black zipper. Ha! Not anymore. Here it is. Here's the other bit I was supposed to be using. Oh well. That's what I get for leaving it on the bench. Pick up the shiny things. Good job, me. I mean, it'll be fine. It'll be fine. It'll just look magical. Not the end of the world. I did wonder why the tail was so long, but I just wasn't really paying attention. I always sew the open edge first. Lines them up, makes life easier for you. Yeah. One more half stitch. Oh. No dangerous animals. Kangaroos are everywhere. Absolutely everywhere. Kangaroos are pretty harmless though. Most zoos that you go to, you can go pat kangaroos. They're like stinky dogs. They're always on the road, actually. Have very little road sense. You'd think they'd learn by now, but nope. They're such a nuisance that someone has designed something and you stick it on the car and it whistles a high-pitched frequency to make the kangaroos go away. We call them shoo-roos because we're funny in Australia. Sometimes they work, sometimes the kangaroos are just that stupid they get hit anyway. You have those for deer. See, there you go. What was I up to? I am looking for... I'm going to come up with a different way to do this. My brain's been thinking on it for a while. I just have to do some experiments. Oh, there's that thing I thought I grabbed earlier and then couldn't find. Those. And then this. And the other one. Yes. I have a drink. They probably are related. Alright, so we're going to take these accent bits and more double-sided tape. New roll, because I don't know where the other one is. And the other one was nearly empty anyway. Maybe I did empty it. Did I empty it? No, I don't know. Maybe. So I've kept a bunch for myself that aren't on the website. So when I sell out, there is enough for me. Because I will have to discuss it with Sandra if we're getting more in or not. Alright, so on the bottom edge, we put double-sided tape. Is anybody else following along at the home for February and using up scraps? Or is it just me? It's fine if it's just me. I'm just curious. You want to go about 1/4 inch up, if you're wondering. Stick it down. A very professional way of doing this. We'll cut off some of the tail when I'm ready at the end. It won't be long enough to do anything with, but throw in the bin anyway, so I'll worry about it then. That's crooked. Better. Using up old jeans. See, that's cool. Oh, I should stick that on too, since it is in fact sticky. I also cut out my Star Trek bag, but I haven't done it yet because I'm trying to only do things I record, and I did recently just make a kangaroo, and so I assume you guys are sick of watching me make the same bag, so now it's just sitting there doing nothing instead. Was not my smartest move. That was not the straightest of back stitchings, but again, you won't see it, so it doesn't matter. Sometimes back stitching really is just easier. Ta-da! I'm not buying new and working from the stash. See? Great job! We should all get down to our stash. I am trying to have a stash that is only like 1 cubby big. That is the end goal. I won't get it this year. I have way too much fabric. But I'm also going to start doing aprons again, like a different type, but still aprons, and that should use up a crap ton of fabric. but also make me a lot of scraps, which is why I'm trying to use up my scraps first before I make more. I say scraps. They're not really scraps. They're just less than half a meter and can only be certain bags. My word of scrap is probably vastly different from your word that indicates scrap, but still. You still need to use them up. Okay, ta-da! So we're going to take this one where the zipper, whoops, I need that. Where the zipper closes to the left so that we can do our Tory pocket. You'll watch anyway. I mean, if you guys are happy to watch it, I will do it as a video. It's sitting there, it's pretty, it's two-toned and Star Trek-y and whatever. What am I looking for? Tory pocket. There she is. While the rains were still happening, I went out there, opened up my shed, just so I could grab the Tory pocket template, because I'm so lazy, I didn't want to have to keep measuring it. Then a couple of small things and cut some quilting fabric. Oh, cool! See, that's clever too. If you guys do quilting, cutting it all up, ready to make like a patchy quilt, still counts. Because then you just like color block them and worry about it later. Was that the center? It didn't feel very centered. No, it was. I don't love quilting. I love the patchwork part, but the quilting part's not really my thing. And I just don't think if I was to make patchwork bags that they would sell. Even though they would be totally cool. So, the perk of doing it this way is you know that this will be out of the way when you go to put in your Tory pocket. And for those following at home with a pattern, this is not at all in the order with which the pattern was written. But I'm also not exactly known for doing it in order at all. I do it in the order I feel like, which you should do too. And then before I go cutting it, I now, these days, like to check the back to make sure it didn't move and go crooked. Because you don't want a crooked Tory pocket. It looks weird. Asymmetrical is all good and well, but an asymmetrical Tory pocket would look weird. Unless you counteracted it with a zipper overlay that you cut so the top's straight, so that it looks like it's meant to be asymmetrical. That would be how you would fix that problem. Just if anyone needs to know that problem. These are not sharp, and I have been looking into how to sharpen scissors. I watched several videos, none of which was super helpful. Without like a stone and then working out your angles, that doesn't interest me. And cutting tin foil just takes off any burrs that exist that don't actually sharpen them. So while it's a good temporary fix, it won't actually fix the problem. And when I say I watched a few videos, I'm talking like 12 at least. It's been a very long time watching videos on the best way to sharpen scissors at home by yourself. Didn't love most of them. Now, if you didn't want to make this like a zipper pocket, what you could do, have that top one so it's folded flat, and then the bottom one you could bring up and make it like a welt pocket so that it looks like that, and then you stitch it, but then it's a slip pocket. You could absolutely do that if you wanted to. You don't do, see, patterns in orders overrated. Certain things have to go in certain orders. Like I had to do this bit before I added this. But beyond that, I'm jumping front to back, lining to exterior, like all over the shop. Not that any of you have ever called me on it, but good luck trying to anyway. Build things in the order that makes you happy. Now, sometimes that involves doing the bit you like the least first, so you get it over and done with. Guilty of that. The Stella by Swoon. I don't know why, and it's a psychological thing, but I hate making the cargo pockets. Well, I don't hate making them. I really enjoy that it has cargo pockets, but it's the part that I least enjoy sewing. So because of that fact, I try to make myself sew it first so that the bit that I don't want to do is completed, and then I can enjoy the rest of the bag. Because if I leave it last, I have found myself procrastinating to the point where I get up and I go do something else and worry about it later. And so I've noticed that about myself, and so to combat it, I now try and build it first. And it's not, I like building all the individual pieces. It's joining, I don't even know. It's not even that hard, and every time I do it, I'm like, what is my problem? Because I don't hate it. It's just, I don't know, irritates me to want to do it. And I know that makes no sense at all. But, so what I try and do when I make it, which is not very often anymore because I make like a brush instead. But when I make it, I try and do the whole front first because that's the bit that I don't want to do. We're wild and free. I love it. Oh, there's a song called Wild and Free. Or maybe it's just called Run Wild. I don't know. Cool song though. It's by like, I don't even know. I feel like it starts with a V. Two chicks. Bit Viking-y kind of music. My uncle sends me the coolest random songs of the universe. Makes me so happy. Backstitch. We're going to leave the bottom of this open to turn our bag through, as always. Where can you get this pattern? So this is on my website, in the pattern section. It is called the Rascal, but then if you want the zipper instead of a magnet, and if you want the gusset, there's an add-on pack. So there's a standard one, which I call the festival bag, personally. I designed it to take to festivals because it's skinny, it's little, it's hippie and boho, and would fit right in at Coachella. But then the add-on is more of like a day bag because it's got a gusset so you can fit real stuff and the zipper and all the rest of the things. I've been using automotive grade sandpaper to sharpen my scissors. See, that's clever. Nice. I like that idea. Okay, so now we're going to take this and clip it out of my way because we absolutely don't want to sew this into a seam. And since the tail's currently so long, I'll do two. Like that. And we go back to the tub. So now we don't have many pieces left, which is exciting. The only other pieces I've currently got going on are these that I need to put on now, and the D-ring connectors, because I either don't have or I left them in the shed, the original connectors I had for this bag, which I love, just FYI. But it's fine. So these go on this, purely so that there's vinyl around the top of the whole bag. How's my mum? Yeah, she's pretty good. I rang her yesterday, actually. Was it yesterday? The day before. I got her addicted to playing games on your phone. So that's why she's probably not here right now. She probably doesn't realise I'm live because she doesn't go on Facebook much anymore. In Australia, there's a thing called missed play, and you earn points, and then you can buy like real world stuff with your points. And when she was up here visiting, she got into it. Now she's a bit addicted to all the fun games, which is great. I can't say I'm not addicted, although in a day, my brain either will play a game or read a book. Won't do both. Don't know why. Apparently my brain doesn't want that much computer screen time or phone screen time. Alright. So we've got our centers. We've now got the little accent. This should match up beautifully because that's how I designed it. We're going to clip. Now this should fit pretty bang on, if I remember correctly. Center. I just eyeballed that. I reckon I'll be right. We ready? Let's do it. There's a 1/2 inch seam allowance. We will be cutting off some of that towards the top there. And I can just, see that? I can just hold it where it needs to be. The reason I like to clip this bit though is because I want that accent to line up. It's pretty much my only reasoning. It's important. Those are the things that people will notice, and those are the things that will make it look boutique-y instead of just like a handmade job. And if you are an intermediate sewer, you should absolutely try and do that. I highly recommend it. Where did you get the bling rivet template? Oh, these are from Brymax. She's got plain ones on the website, but if you message her, she'll tell you what colors she's got. I obviously got green because I'm childish like that. But she also puts like paint on the other side so you can see all the markings. Very cool. So Brymax has them in America. I'm not sure if April May Shine has access to the colored ones, but you should ask her because I'm pretty sure she said she does. And then we're going to hack off all of this. I also don't feel the need to change my stitch length on this machine as much as I used to on the green machine. I also thought of a compromise. If I can't paint my machine, I thought maybe I could cover this in like murder scene blood spatter vinyl. It's my backup plan. Although I do want to go to the TAFE at some point and see if somebody is interested in painting it. I just like to look at pretty things. And I understand it's not for everyone. And that's fine. I would like to think I wouldn't lose followers over the fact that it'll look like a crime scene, but even if I do, so be it. I am who I am. And I would eventually get over it. You could 100% clip all of this together, by the way. You don't have to do it like me where I'm freehanding it. Oh! Did I just run out of bobbin or did it snap? Oh no, it just snapped. I did think about using the Cricut and just doing like cool stickers. I'd have to find some cool stuff first. Okay. Zigzag scissors again. Cut off this excess, especially at the top. Your machine might not like all those layers. I know my scissors don't, clearly. My God, that dog is still going. lining done. I'd cover my mixer, but it's apparently broken. So the latch to keep it down, so you have to lean on it to use it. Frustrating. That's what that is. Alright, so there's our lining, and how fabulous. I actually really like the gusset being different. I don't know if you guys have ever tried that before. I'm trying it out of necessity, but I can't say I'm displeased. Front, back, that. Don't need those bits anymore. And the strap's already done too. So we've got options for the, I haven't picked an option yet, but options for these strap connectors. Does anyone on here right now know a good place to get 5/8 tape in America? Sorry, I don't. But maybe one of you guys do. All right, center points. Before we go any further, I'm going to use the gold ones with this. These are turning out wonderful. I love these. So I got some options. I can put my tag here at the back, at the top, or I could put it on the side here because that's a bit fun. Just have it totally in a weird spot. Who says I have to put it where people tell me to? Pish posh. I could also put it here. That will be annoying to sew, but I could still manage it. I am thinking probably there, but I'm going to need my little border because it'll be on black. Side? Yeah, okay, we'll do side. Side's easier, means I don't have to stand up. These are iron-on, however, I'm going to use double-sided tape because the heat press will take too long to heat up and I want to do it now. So I've decided that the gold ones go for gold, rainbow and bronze, and then the silver ones go for silver and black hardware. It is not HTV, these are all embroidery. So I don't know if you guys were here for my little New Year's resolution where I tell you I'm gonna do like a lot extra bags or classy. They are the two options that we get in my life now. So I went with, today I've gone with very much extra. So for those that weren't here at the start, this is the front of the bag, which is this glorious witch, which is like 37,000 stitches. And then this is the back design, which is quite a large, beautiful thing. And then on the strap, I bought both these, I bought this design in both sizes so that it would be amazing. And so then these are the same design on the strap versus on the bag. So it is very much going to be a bit extra. It's got fringing, and then on the back of the fringing, I've put like a printed butterfly HTV. So it's got a picture going as well. It's a very extra bag, but I do not regret it. I think it's wonderful. Hopefully it'll sell on Sunday. That would be awesome. I need to fix my mannequin. I broke the legs of the mannequin stand that I take to the market. So after this as well, before Sunday, I need to fix that too. We're gonna put it there because after we take away like a seam allowance, it'll still be nice into the top. And to be honest, I bought the designs, but so my new rule is when I buy a design, I have to use it twice. So I have to do this design on something else. I'd already used that witch on something forever ago when I bought it like years ago. So this design's gonna have to go on something else. I'm thinking a trollop, like a witchy trollop would be amazing. Or a vixen, a very simple, classic-y vixen. Did you end up doing the video in your yard for the market setup? No, but I will probably, I have to do a market setup this weekend. So like not today because it looks like it's gonna rain again, which is sucky, but what do you do? So not today, but probably tomorrow I'm gonna have to set up the gazebo because I'm changing how I'm attaching everything to the gazebo. I have some plans. Why only foam on the gusset? If you put it everywhere, it's a lot. Also, this 2 layers of vinyl and fabric and interfacing, it's enough. And the gusset having this will hold the bag up, so it won't matter that this top bit's floppy. Same with this, right? 2 layers of vinyl. It's got quite a lot going on. And the thicker it is, the harder it'll be for you to sew. So once I fold all this out of the way, you can put foam. You could put a fusible fleece if you want a lighter interfacing, but because it's vinyl, it doesn't need it, in my opinion. Because again, this has got vinyl along the top, so that top edge is already gonna have 2 layers of vinyl and the fabric and the interfacing. So the bag will hold its structure without using foam everywhere, but because the gusset is thin, it requires the foam. It's a way to save money and make your bag much less bulky, lighter weight, and easier to sew. So there is method to my madness, I promise. I did it with the trollop the other day. If you guys saw the trollop video, there is only gusset foam and no interfacing, no foam interfacing anywhere else, because again, didn't need it. I'm proud of my self-control. This is set to 2,000 stitches a minute, and I have worked out my footing to be able to do 1 stitch at a time. I don't know why I just said it like that. Did you? An all fabric Rascal. Oh, I can do that if you want. I'm really digging the whole vinyl thing at the moment, but you could do an all fabric Rascal. What I would do to make it all fabric, I would cut the interfacing, this shape, and then I would fold over the raw edges of the fabric and then stitch it down. If you did an all fabric one, you will most likely want some extra interfacing. But you could do it. I just really like vinyl bags lately. I'm in a phase, it would seem. That and I'm trying to be very much extra. So I'm all about, you know, embroidery or loud or colourful or whatever I'm doing. So again, we've got options with these. We could have them as hidden strap connectors where you cut the slit, slide them in and do it that way. You could have them, and I would do that, if I were you, I would do that if you're on a domestic machine and want to eliminate as much bulk as humanly possible. I would make these hidden strap connectors, which I still might do just out of principle, but we'll see. The other option is to just have them attached at the top. So you can do that too. Another very good option. The original pattern came with really cool like connectors. So it's a piece of hardware that has the loop, but I either forgot to bring them in or I've run out because I don't see them in here. So whatever. I did do a massive clearance when I stopped selling hardware, so I possibly am out. But I am using my 5/8 or 15mm D-rings. These are my new favorite. These are what I use for everything. But when I'm running patterns, I will give you the option of these or 1 inch or 3/4 of an inch because you all like what you like and that's okay. So option 1 is we could pop it in here. I'm gonna stitch them, but you could have it so it sticks up the side. Option 2 is hidden strap connectors, so you'll only see like that much of it. Obviously move it down a bit, but you'd only see like that. You could attach one to the front and one to the back on opposite sides, which again would give it some heft and make the bag balanced. I'm gonna top stitch it because it's pretty if I do. You of course don't have to. You could also do it the traditional way. where we pop this on, fold under the raw edges like that, and just stitch it onto the side, and just have it as an accent whacked on. All these options are acceptable ways to make a bag. And one day, I would love to do a choose your own adventure bag where I have all of these options. That pattern would either take me forever or cost more than $10, because it would be like a generic how to, like a choose your own adventure that you could do in all bags. It'd be so cool though. It would probably be a $20 pattern, because it wouldn't just be that, it'd be like all the things. It would take forever. Never done hidden connectors. All right, let's do them. Sold to the highest bidder. We need a ruler. You need a knife. Notice I just did a stabby motion. My bad. Sandra got me a green one. It's retractable and fabulous. And that's probably, oh, I know, a erasable pen. Must be erasable. Or you have to do everything from the back. We are gonna go down 1.5 inches. Double checking that we can do that on this side. Oh, I can't. We're gonna go down 1.25 inches, ladies and gentlemen, because that's probably all I can manage, because I did this. Could I unpick it? Yes. Am I going to? No. 1 1/8. Right? I'm gonna draw a line. Gonna have to go. Bye. Enjoy your sleep. So normally I would do 1.5 down, just so you all are aware of that. But we're doing 1 1/8 because of my other side, and that's fine too. All right, and then you get your knife, and then we just okay. Always have the blade facing up. Start closest to you, stab in, and you'll get a straight line every time, right? So blade facing up, stab in, because as you stab, because it's an angled blade, it does the line for you. And if you have it the other way, it is more likely to go crooked than if you have it upside down and cut away from you. Also, that's a safety thing. My cutting videos. Really? Do many people watch cutting videos? I feel like I'm slightly out of touch and have no idea. Did I cut that big enough? Probably not. You also want to make sure you cut the hole to be this big. Little bit more. So do that and that. Oh, people keep trying to call me. Apparently I'm a very popular human today. Who knew? Give me 1 sec. I should let her know, because that's twice she's called. Give me 1 second. All right. Touch typing is a helpful moment. Okay, so we're going to put the side that you don't want seen face up, and you're going to stab it into, you're going to push it into the hole. Right? This bit always takes a minute. So we're going to have like part of it in, and you're going to have it, oh, look at that bird's nest. You're going to have it with the wrong side facing up, like this. All right, so you want to have enough that you'll be able to stitch this later, but we're going to have it wrong sides up, and you're going to stitch this to above the slit that we just made. So we're going to go just a little bit, so like 1/8 of an inch from the cut that you did. I'm going to go back and forth several times just because it'll help hold it in place. You won't see this, so it can be messy, but you want to stitch it above the hole so it now can't move. Then we are going to take our D-ring and we're going to pop it on, and then you're going to thread this side back into the hole and pull it down so that there's only a smidgy bit remaining. Now, if you're doing this with fabric, there's extra steps. So we're only doing vinyl version today because we don't care about this raw edge here. It'll be fine. And so now we're just going to put a line of stitching that will encompass this and both of these layers. We're going to do a line of stitching there. And then if you want to, you can add a rivet to make it extra super strong. I'm not going to add the rivet because I don't have room on the other end, but it is an option. And I need to change my foot because this one's not going to let me get close enough to the hardware. The question becomes, though, where's my other foot? So for those that didn't see that video, I have a custom foot made. It was literally just one of these, and the guy cut off one of the toes so that I can get closer to hardware. Apparently I'm getting a visitor. Ah! All right. Let's slot this in. My nails are starting to actually get too long. They're too long now. I need to file them down. They don't quite need to be filled yet though. I'm so impressed. For those that have been around for ages, you know how much I love my nails and how much they always just fall off after like 2 weeks. The fact that they haven't, and I have not been I literally carried all of my sewing room in here with nails. Like I'm so happy. All right. So I don't know if you can see that now. You probably can't see from there. But because the other side of the toe is not there, I can now get right up close, which is exactly where I want to be, to stitch this. If you don't have one of these, you could probably just take off that outside foot altogether for this. But I want to show you, look how close I got. See? So it's holding everything in place. You can now pull on this and nothing will happen. It won't go anywhere. You can also, if you want to, cut off this excess on the back. Right, we can literally just go chop. I'll leave a little bit, but you don't need much. And that's it. That is a hidden strap connector. So it just pops out. And then we're going to fold that down so we don't hit it when we do the rest of the sewing. Pretty straightforward. If you're doing ones with fabric, the first step is to sew like a facing so that you don't have all those raw edges. They're annoying. I don't tend to do them because they're annoying. And because you can never get it perfect so that you don't see, well, I can't. I don't have the patience to get it perfect so that you can't see that facing piece. So we're just going to go forward and back. Again, you won't see it. It can be messy. It's the second one that needs to be pretty. We're going to pop this on. We're going to push it down and into the hole. See, this is why I feel like I should make a choose your own adventure pattern. What shape bag would you like if I was to do this? Because I feel like this might be one of the things I do for my 7 patterns this year. I really like this plan. A choose your own adventure bag pattern. Now this is cutting it close. This is also why I wanted to change the foot. Because they are now almost completely hidden. Because they're right at the top edge of that. Still looks cool though. I regret nothing. Love it. I'm happy. Chop off that excess just because we don't need it there. And it's more weight in the bag. Not everybody wants to carry a heavy handbag that's empty. You're going to remember then they still have to add stuff. So I'm going to put on the back piece first because I don't have to fight with the fringing. Personal preference and all that jazz. I'm also going to fold it in half this way because that's easier. And then work our way around, get to the bottom, find the center, snip. Outsides tend to need more clips than the lining pieces. Lining I can get away with very few clips in my life. Outside slightly less so. And because I've got the foam there, it's going to like push back. So rude. But it also should fit together really, really well for you. I love this pattern. Should be good to go. You shouldn't have a lot of like squeezing and things. You can go to sleep happy. Yay! Hidden strap connectors on vinyl are pretty easy. You just cut a hole and shove it in. I have faith that you can do it. I don't think I want to do a choose your own adventure tote. I feel like it'd have to be something similar to Trollop. Or like this. And then you can have the options of zipper or clip. Different connectors. A flap, no flap. Zipper top, no zipper top. Cargo pocket, slip pocket, phone pockets. Like all the things. This bag is going to be amazing. Like, absolutely. It might not sell straight away, but it'll be really pretty. And a great example of customization that you can do. I use really stiff interfacing. See, there you go. I'm going to move all of that over there. I really just like revving it, and probably it's bad for it, but it's so much fun. I also haven't switched my foot back. I probably should, and I will, but just not right this second. All right, let's deal with the fringing so that I don't sew it into the bag. But also, look how pretty that is. Pretty. Moving on. All right, so we're gonna fold up the bottom. And then we're going to grab this and go over. And I'm basically going to layer it, crisscrossing. Like that. And like that. And then I'm going to grab some clips. You don't need many. 2. Because I crisscrossed it, 2 should pretty much hold it. And I say pretty much because there's always a slight chance that it won't quite. And you'll have to be a bit careful. And you should probably find the center of the bag before we do all of this. What do we do? I find hidden strap connectors are really, really good when you've done an embroidered bag. Because usually, not always, but usually, the embroidery goes where you would have put strap connectors, and so therefore you would hide the embroidery by doing them normally. That's the main place that I use them. That's not to say that you can't put them in other places, but that's the main reason I use hidden strap connectors on bags when it's not written into the pattern, is because it will hide all of the prettiness that I did, whether that's a DTF design or an embroidery, or it's just like a panel, whatever. Also, oh my gosh, I saw that X-Tool is bringing out a DTF machine. And I'm so obsessed with the idea, it's outrageous. I want to see how they go first, because I did hear that a lot of people do have a lot of problems with DTF machines when I was looking into it last time I wanted one. So I am quite interested to see if it is like a plug and play or if there's a lot of dramas that happen, because otherwise I am getting one. I don't know how I think I'm going to afford it, but that's irrelevant right now. If it works and they're awesome, I want one. And then I will just DTF whatever matching fabrics I have. It would be amazing. Okay, so now that I've clipped it, you also just want to go back and make sure that none of the fringe is even close to being near the seam allowance, because if you sew it in, it's going to suck. Me and my very professional words right there. It will suck though, I promise. Now, if you're using a bigger D-ring than this, you also might find that it's a bit of a tight squeeze with your foot past it. So just be conscious of that, please. Backstitch. Trim. DTF is direct to film. So like the pretty iron-on horror things I did in bags like ages ago, I got like a container of them, and they're just like sheets and you iron them on like HTV, but it's a picture. That's called DTF, direct to film. Very cool. So it's like having a garment printer that some places have. Very cool, but you can put them on vinyl, which is the exciting part for me. So I can make like a plain bag and then iron a DTF design on. So it's like embroidery, but you iron it on. It's like if embroidery and HTV had a baby. So you can do pictures, but you iron it on. That would be how I would best describe it. Alright, that's one. Oh no. Yeah, no, that's one. Now I'm going to do the other side. So I'm cutting off all of this to make life easier. But also because I've done these hidden strap connectors, sewing the lining should be a lot easier because at the side you won't have that bulk from your strap connectors. This is hurting my hand for anyone that's interested. It's very hacky. These scissors are not very sharp, but my sharp ones are over there. So I am suffering through. So there are a few printers around, but everybody that I spoke to when I was researching, because I want one, A, they're very expensive. And B, if you, like some of them, if you don't use it every single day, it clogs up, which is just not at all how my life is going to go. I am not getting a machine that does that. So it'll be interesting to see if X-Tool has solved that problem. Alright, lining. There is a right and a wrong way. So this is the panel, the front, and I want the zipper closing over here. So we take it so that the zipper is going to close over there and then shove it in. Like so. And then I'm going to start by lining up the short sides, and I'm going to make sure that this hardware for our hidden strap connector D-rings is pushed down. Lots of clips. But you can see already, the bag stands up by itself because of this. If you didn't put that in, it would be floppy. So if you like floppy bags, don't do it. Pretty much sums that up. And this should all pretty much line up very nicely. I'm just going to add clips so it doesn't shift while I'm trying to stitch it, but we should be pretty okay. Alright, same with this side. I do love this bag. Sometimes I look at my patterns and I'm amazed at myself that I managed to do it, honestly. Lift up your needle. Under we go. Now today, I'm going to do 3/8 of an inch as a seam allowance. The pattern comes with 1/2 inch. This is one of those moments where I tell you, you can just do a different seam allowance because it all matches up, it'll be fine. Okay. I also didn't backstitch because we're going to go all the way around. Advice on putting a canvas panel on top of vinyl. Ooh. I guess that would support, generally speaking, I would put some kind of like fusible something and then fold over the raw edges and fuse them down, whether you use double-sided tape or like hemming tape or something, to make sure that you've got that no raw edge look. Or you could take vinyl and lay it over the top and have it like a window underneath, would be the two ways off the top of my head that I would combat that. And if I had one lying around, I'd do it for you. Again, I'm making sure that that hardware is out of my way. That's why my hands are all up in this business. I do find, especially today, 3/8 much easier because, again, I've done my side connectors a little bit higher than normal, so the less seam allowance actually greatly helped me just then. Reverse applique. See? You're welcome. Brain's full of useless information. You all just have to ask. What is going on here? Hold on a second. Something's gone awry. Stop it. The side seam slightly came undone, which in turn made everything go a bit wonky. Unacceptable, so I'm just going to fix it. Boom. Now, if you did your side connectors in this seam allowance, go back to them and then do that like back and forth zigzag thing to make sure that they are strong enough to hold whatever crazy weight people put in bags. It's not even necessarily about the weight of what they put in, but some people rest their arm on their bag, right? So even if it's not heavy with stuff, there's still a lot of strain on the strap. So you want to really make sure you reinforce it. So there's my lining. And then I'm going to grab here, anywhere at the bottom, squish it up. It should be able to talk like a puppet. Not a very good looking puppet, but a puppet nonetheless. And we are not pulling, nor should you ever pull on your fringing. You will just snap it. I've been there, done that. Thought I was being so clever, snapped it right off. So please keep that in mind. So now that I've got it to here, I know that doesn't look very turned through, but if you squish this together and pull the Tory pocket over it all, you'll find it'll go much easier. If you can get the Tory pocket to go over all of that, like see that? See how it's now in there? This will now be so much easier to pull through. So you grab onto the Tory pocket and then onto the outer and just gently pull. Ta-da! You can now mess with the fringing. And then I'm going to put my hand back inside, make a bit of a fist, and push. Something just dropped. Okay, I'm happy. See, and there's my logo. Love it. Alright, let us do up this here. Pinch it. So I push my fingers into the first knuckle, pinch it, and then fold it in. And that's how I close that with a raw edge. It has been noted some other people actually turn up that raw edge when they're stitching it on the sides, because it will then automatically help it go into its spot. Both options are acceptable. I find my way quicker. We all know I like to do things as quick as possible. Pretty excited about this. So, except for that, there's a tail. Oh no, no. It's gone awry. We're gonna turn it back out. That's annoying. Should have checked it. I should have checked it. Otherwise, everything was beautiful. But I'll show you what happened. See here. When I trimmed it, clearly I snipped some of the back stitching and has loosened the threads. So now, even though I just did this up, I'm gonna have to undo it. Just rude. Sometimes the easiest way to undo it is to pull on one thread and then go to like the opposite side, like the bobbin, and then pull that as much as it'll come out, and voila. So it's this corner here. Just being rude. I'm not going to turn the whole bag through because pish posh. What I am going to do is fiddle with it a bit, quite a bit, but still. So we're going to come to where it was, back stitch, all the way up, back stitch. Just really reinforce that, and then grab it and stitch it the other way. Normally I would turn the bag all the way through, but not today. Stitch, back stitch. Lay it down, over, check it, make sure I fixed it. I did. Let's check the other side. All seems fine. It was just that one little bit. You can obviously turn the whole thing. I'm just not going to. The double-sided fringe just makes it a bit more fun. And again, I'm very extra this year. I could make classy bags like people. Okay, I have noticed that people do very, very classy, nice looking bags as their cover photo, which is great. Whoa, what was that? It's a new one. Easy, tiger. That was my bobbin thread having a hissy fit. That's what that was. Fine, I'll sew slowly. So not as much fun. And yes, I stuck my tongue out my machine because I'm trying not to swear on videos. Not only because it might offend one of you, but also because YouTube doesn't like it when I swear. Okay. So now we're going to tuck all of this part of the bag in and push the lining down. It will need a Tory squish. See that? Once it's Tory squished, it'll sit much nicer. And then these pliers are your best friend for bag making. Mine, when I bought them a few years ago, were about $11 from some kind of Chinese website, AliExpress, I think, because Temu wasn't out. Temu didn't exist when I got these, but I'm sure you could find them on Temu if that's where you shop. But basically, where all of the seam allowances are, I'm going to use two hands and squish them as hard as possible. If my husband was here, I'd make him and his muscles do it, but he's not, so I'm not. But you're basically just squishing down the seam allowance. Even though I cut out most of the bulk, by squishing it, it will just make for an even smoother sew. So then we're just, again, going to squish so I can show you, right? So that's what it looks like now. See how thick it is, right? Squish it. Should be about half that. See that? Look at that. I don't know if you can tell the difference on a camera, but I'm hoping you can. It's amazing. Squish down to about half its original size. Then we're just going to roll this. I'm also going to put some clips just to help hold it where it's told. So we're going to roll it. You can also Tory squish it. Because that back, see how it's kind of rolling in? We don't want that. We want a nice crispy edge. Sounds like I'm cooking. Whatever. Clip, 2, and 3. Ta-da! So, lift this up. Have some nice long tails. I want to start near the side, but not directly on the side. Currently, I'm not missing that other side foot because we're not using it. Wouldn't be currently using it even. Just going to slowly move the bag down around, making sure again that that D-ring on the side is down and out of the way. We're going slowly so that I don't mess it up. Also, we can now trim off these tails. I just wanted to make sure they didn't bird's nest, so long enough to hold them stops them bird's nesting. Continue. You always got to keep swiping the fringe, making sure it doesn't accidentally get tucked up in here, because it will try. It's sneaky like that. Not today because we're wild and free. We totally are. Right, close to. Now normally you wouldn't have this problem with the hardware because you do it the 1.5 inches instead of the 1.8 inches. I'm missing quite a lot of breathing room, but it's fine. Totally fine. How cool is that? It doesn't need all that extra fringing. That is actually probably enough. You could get away with a bag like that. Last bit of hardware and we're done. So we're going to take the clips off the zipper. We're not leaving the zipper that long. It's outrageous, but it will make for an easy zipper putter on when it's longer. It's easier to manipulate. Make sure that it's not twisted up here before we go any further. I have done that once. Learned from my mistake. I didn't check it. I just grabbed it and went, oh, I can do this. Luckily for me, it was not on camera. All right, zip it up. And that is crooked. So we're gonna take it off and try again. I personally always like to put the left side on first. If you need a zipper jig, don't feel bad. I needed one for ages. Go back to my older videos. You'll see. All right, so zipper's in. It actually does look good without zipper. I don't regret it at all. The idea is too that this sits down and is a recessed zipper. That's how I designed it. If you don't like the recessed zipper, put it up here instead. It could be right on top. See, choose your own adventure. My brain can literally do this while I'm talking. You started to say something about peeps who carry posh bags. Oh, it's not that posh bags aren't pretty, but you can get posh bags at a shop, and so I've decided that's not the shop I want to be like. So even though they do look pretty, and I probably will do a couple of classic bags, generally speaking, I'm going to live in the land of elaborate and ridiculous, like this one. This one's got all the things going on. So please don't look to me and ask me like questions about how to make it classy, because I probably don't even know the answer. And it won't be something that I'm going to live in. That won't be where I live. Zipper putter honorer. My husband made me one out of a bent fork and a clamp from the shed. It was wonderful until I didn't need it anymore. All right, so I also found my screwdriver. Yay. I can laser engrave it. I only realized that like yesterday. So we're going to put something cool on it. Oh, I found what zipper putter. What I found is those folks want the designer label. Yeah, see, I'm not a designer label and I have no aspirations to become one. That's the other thing I'd like to point out. I don't want to be an exclusive bag club where my bags are crazy expensive and only certain people can get them. I would prefer to be cheaper, where people could maybe buy 2 bags from me a year and be happy and show off their individual selves. But that's my business model. You at no point need to copy me on that. So there's that. We've now got the zipper end, which looks pretty. But also, if you don't want to see it, you can actually just tuck it inside. The point of it being there is so that you can open it further if you need to. And then I want to show you in the bag. You probably can't see. It's really, really hard to get the lighting right, but it's dark, and then you've got, it looks really cool with the accent, which is really hard to see, but it looks really cool. There's no way that I can angle this to show you properly, but it looks really cool. So the other thing, see here, Tory Pocket Squish. We'll absolutely need a good squishing. I'm going to start doing crazy things to my front of my patterns. Also though, because they've got a classy bag on the front, you can just follow their design to make it classy. I want to make things fun and crazy and stuff. Normal's just not really my wheelhouse, let's be honest. Do you store your bags empty? So I put stuffing in them before I put them in the carts to be taken to the market. They look better, they get less creases. So what I do is I take a Ziploc bag, I take some, I've just got white tissue paper, scrunch it up loosely, and so the bag is full of both air and tissue paper. Personally, I find that works best for me. I tried just air, wasn't a thing. Air with the tissue paper, much, much better. You can't tell me this bag is not fabulous. Like, absolutely fabulous. Oh, that's a TV show. Right, so you've got the accent here. You've got the fun on the front. You've got the fringing that you can see the colour from the back. And then you've got this fabulous pocket as well, which looks crooked, but I promise it's not. So I've already got some made up from when I sold all those other bags. How good is that? So this is just that front fringing. You can skip the other fringing. So see here, it needs a Tory squish there too. It'll need it everywhere. And you could be quite violent about this. Don't be fragile with the bag. If it can't handle this, it can't handle being a bag holding someone's stuff. Honestly, if doing this breaks your bag, go back and restitch. Either use stronger thread, or if your machine can't handle very strong thread, do 2 lines of stitching about 1/8 of an inch apart, because then it's got twice as much stitching holding it together. All right, whatever, much better. There you go, 1 bag that is very much extra. But this, I love this. This is why I designed this, so that we can have cute little things on them. Glad I stayed awake to the end. Aw, thank you. All right, I'm going to go ring my friend and see what's up. But I'm going to put this hopefully on the website today. I need to get onto that. I've got to put all those trollops up too. And then it looks like it's going to rain. So I doubt I'll be doing the gazebo today, but instead I might get all the price tags and stuff ready. But this is a fabulous bag. This will probably be either 100, 110. There's a lot of work in this, but there's a lot less fringing, see? So kind of got to balance that out. Either way, it's fabulous. I love it. I hope it sells nice and quick. And I will be back next week for more videos. All right, guys. Bye. Oh my gosh.